Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Where am I at? Where are we? Stream live? There we go. Okay. Okay. So we are we are starting testing tonight with a version of the deck that won the Canadian Regional Championship. Monowhite control, but with the full set of Field of Ruin and Field of Ruin analogs in Demolition Field. I already liked a lot of what the deck was doing in the first place, the Monowhite deck. I didn't try the fields prior because I didn't want to give up the utility lands that we had, like Mirax and Mishra's Foundry, and more copies of Roadside Reliquary. But I played against Esper a handful of times this morning and ended up field ruining them off of lands multiple times. They have maximum one basic. Most of the Grixis lists I've seen have one basic at most. So the fields seem very well positioned at the time with the matchups that are seeming a little more difficult. I still have a bunch of the on-plan good cards, like a lot of removal, Bankbuster, Wedding Announcement, Wandering Emperor. Some of the things that I've tried over the last few days that I've ended up liking that I'm continuing to play in this list are some number of White Sun Twilight, which I think scales pretty well into the late game and just gives you more wraths that do more things. Similar to Farewell, but not maxing too hard on it. I think Farewell is pretty good in most matchups, though. So it could be correct to have more Farewell than White Sun Twilight, but White Sun Twilight you can cast at 5 mana and lower, and after Wrathing, it immediately sets up your board with some number of Phyrexian Mites. To go with the fields, though, more Restoration of Eiganjo, which is something I was already doing, to repeatedly loop more often the Field of Ruins and just set up with just finding more planes, considering you're lower on planes with this many colorless lands in the deck, and flipping into a threat, which I had already liked. But something that goes well with Restoration of Eiganjo and the fields is also Serra Paragon, which I've been lower on in the past, but at this point, if we're playing a lot of Field of Ruins and the Restoration of Eiganjo, Serra Paragon works really well with them. Serra Paragon rebuying Restoration of Eiganjo to further loop the fields without losing them to the Serra Paragon is really powerful, but also the Chapter 3 ability is a Kamigawa transformation, so it exiles and returns it transformed, and that resets the clause on Serra Paragon where when the permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you exile and gain 2 life. This returns it without that clause, so this way you get to repeatedly loop Restoration of Eiganjos. Then I have some other cards that have been showing up in some of my lists. Handful of Destroy Evil, handful of Lauren, a couple Eternal Wander. I'm a little lower on this card, number-wise, in this version of the deck because I just have so many more things to do at these high mana values. I have the main deck Elspeth, which previously they were all on the sideboard, but I have a little bit of room now to play some number of Elspeth in the main. And I also have a Mondrak Glory Dominus, which I was testing a more all-in tokens version of the deck over the weekend, and the card was pretty good. The version I was testing seemed like it was more focused on kind of Voltroning up a single Mondrak with just putting a bunch of counters on it, making it indestructible, and it just is an engine all on its own. I really liked this card. I played it today a handful of times, and just making 2 tokens instead of 1 increases the rate of you either accumulating more material on board to block and control combat with, but also just is just pretty good value-wise. So it seemed pretty good offensively and defensively. Serra Paragon has clearly been one of the better cards in the deck, in my experience today. I've gotten to cast Twilight a couple times. I've basically cast all the cards in the deck, in the main deck at least, multiple times throughout the day, and they've all been pretty good. I think I'm a little higher on removal than most people that end up playing this deck. I have 10 dedicated removal spells and 3 dedicated wrath effects, basically, not counting Lauren and Eternal Wanderer as either removal or wrath, and not counting Emperor as additional removal. Back on this list to 4 Wandering Emperor. I was on 3 in some of my previous iterations, but the card just does everything you need. Mondrak makes it better. Just having more things to put on the board, like Lauren and Serra Paragon and Mondrak, all make it better. And so on. One thing from playing earlier today was... There we go. This many colorless lands feels a little difficult, especially if they're on a monocolor deck. I played against Mono Blue a few times today, and having all these colorless lands that can't cycle into planes was really pretty not great. The roads, I haven't really run out of cards a lot, so I'm thinking I might go down on roadside reliquaries. Even outside of just having enough planes to turn on laydown arms, because you can usually, if you need to, load up 1 planes with all the ossifications. It's also just difficult on white sources. I don't think you really need to crack a roadside reliquary more than once, and I'm not really running out of cards any other way, so I might go down to 1 copy of this, and go up on a copy of Iganjo, which also loads me up on more removal as if I need any more. But I think just with the amount of catch up we have in like some of our higher cost cards like White Sun, Wanderer, Farewell, just double spelling anything in the deck, Paragon +3 mana card from the graveyard. I think we just want a lot of removal, so this way we can make it to that point in the game where our larger cards can kind of just take over. Going to the sideboard, we have a couple Cathar Commandos, 3 Skrulv's Hive, 3 Sunset Revelry, a Fateful Absence, which I haven't been too keen on, 2 Unlicensed Hearse, a Knockout Blow, because I just don't want to lose to the red deck, a few Vanquish the Hordes, and the second Elspeth. I had the third Twilight in the sideboard at one point, but I didn't think it was better than something like Vanquish the Horde, and I thought it occupied a really similar spot, while just kind of being, I guess, better game one because it does more things. You can cast a small Twilight when you just need to use all your mana, and I think that's just sufficient. I would like to play more of this card, but I don't really know how good it is. It hasn't been too poor for me yet, but the fact that the tokens can't block is a little bad. I think this card might just be better, obviously, when X is 5 or more, so you can destroy all the other creatures, but it might not be good enough at the smaller values. So this card might eventually come out and be replaced with another Elspeth in the main and another Farewell, just so I can still have a bunch of Wraths. I did the change, add another white source. We'll see. I don't really have anything to do with anything to replace Fateful Absence with yet. Maybe just a knockout blow, so this way I actually have more cards for the aggressive matchups. Because gaining life and dealing 4, even at 3 mana, is like, I guess not terrible. Not the worst thing in the world when I also have a bunch of other efficient removal. But who knows? Maybe I'll play some number of Annex Sentry or a third Unlicensed Hearse. Considering in a lot of the matchups you want Hearse early rather than too late. Won't really catch you up then. It's not really a catch-up card, it's more of a preemptive measure. So, let's try a couple games on the ladder with the Monowhite Field of Ruin deck. The amount of Esper players I've played against today that just haven't been able to find anything off of the Field of Ruin has been startlingly high. I think there was one person who had one basic planes, but the first game when I Field of Ruin them, they must have drawn it within the first couple draw steps or in their opener, because I Field of Ruin them in their draw step and they played the basic planes for turn. The other two Esper players just ended up not playing, and not playing any basics, and just ending up getting Stone Range repeatedly. It was definitely a lot better than I kind of expected something like that to be, when maybe I don't value that highly enough. I just value gaining material, like a Mirror for having a creature hidden in my lands, like a Mishra's Foundry, but the fields ended up being very good. Alright, so what do we got? A Field of Ruin, a couple planes, a removal spell, and some 3 mana cards. I think I'll keep this. We're on the draw. They play the Rafine's Tower, so the Field of Ruin's going to be pretty good here. We're going to play our basic planes. I think we're going to sandbag the Field of Ruin a little bit. I don't know if it exactly matters, because I don't think it informs any of their plays. Because it's going to happen. They seem to be trying... They either don't have anything... I don't think I play into something like a Make Disappear here. So I think I'm just going to put a stop in their upkeep and hit them in their draw step. So we'll let them draw. We're going to activate Field of Ruin. Okay. So the field seems pretty good. They typically play a lot of creatures, so I think I'm going to bring in both Vanquish the Hordes. I've played against this a couple times today, so I think I'm going to bring in the removal spell. I don't know if I want to bring anything else in. The Lorens seemed pretty poor because they just don't have targets for it. The Mondrak's pretty good because it just makes a bunch of things to put on the table. What else? I think they bring in some number of Destroy Evil, so I think I'm going down in Ossification. And I think we can call it that. They have Skrelv to target with the Lauren, but I don't think that's good enough. Maybe I want the Sunset Revelries on the draw, but I think this might just be a mono red card. At which point maybe I just don't play this and I play something a little more broad. Maybe that becomes the hearse. Sunset Revelry kind of also allows you to mulligan a little more aggressively for it, which I think is kind of nice. I think that's an interesting thing they did with the card. So we got Lay Down Arms, Ossification, Bankbuster, so we have some proactive stuff to do, some reactive stuff to do, and we're on the draw, which gives us a couple more shots at finding a Field of Ruin, which apparently immediately kills them. Oh, they're the Slowgurk version. They have no basics. They definitely have no basics either. Okay. There's a Malira, which is pretty good. There's our Demolition Field. What do we want to do here? Do we want to ossify this, or do we want to lay down arms? Is it ossification because we're a little lower on planes in our hand? The arms doesn't scale very well. So I think I might just fire that off here. It might be better to save that for something like a Denic. Was it Pious Apprentice? Their mana is looking a little shaky though, but they do have black, white, and blue for Rapine. Okay. So now that I don't... So I used that because I knew if they played something that cost 3 here, I wouldn't be able to hit it with the laydown arms, but I can ossify this. Play the Demolition Field. I don't think I want to ossify it yet, though. I think I want to Fateful Absence it, because I don't want them to have this, and if they have a Destroy Evil for the ossification, I don't want to just give them back the Rafine. So I think I'll let them have something like a Kaito here, or a Shieldred. Auto peg. That, give them a clue. Because I've seen some lists like this playing Kaito or maybe an Emperor or something in their sideboard. Okay, so here's the second Rafine, which is kind of annoying. I can play Demolition Field here. They've missed a land, and I know they have no basics, so I can Demolition Field their white source, so this way I can cut Destroy Evil off. And now that they don't have a white source, they can't use Destroy Evil on the ossification I might play next turn. Take action, I'm going to go find a basic plains, and I'm going to play Bankbuster. The Rafine's going to give them at least a little bit in the Conniving to give them a chance to try and find a little bit more lands. They have to use the Ode of Wildest. Wow, okay. So I think I'm going to ossify the Slowgurk here instead. Just let them... That's fine. Wow, he really replaces things. The Slowgurk version of the deck is so good. So we're going to play the Roadside Relic where we make some mana. We're going to activate this. We're going to hit the dual land. They're going to get to rebuy some of these lands, though, off the Deathcap Blade, so maybe it was a mistake to do that. Because they're still going to be able to hit their lands. That's fine. Maybe I do it the following turn, just let them sit on this and just lose a little life and get my wedding announcement going. Because they're just going to be able to rebuy all these lands. If I end up getting rid of the Slowgurk now. They already have all the targets. So I think I want to get the wedding announcement rolling and then handle what they have on board, and then just use my 5 lands versus their 1. In order to, I'm not going to block, in order to kind of leverage this advantage for the rest of the game. They might have a bunch of cards in hand, but hopefully they'll have nothing worth doing. Okay. So... Good attack here. Yeah, if I Okay, so they have another white source, so I might just exile the Slugger with the Wandering Emperor. If they want to use Rafine to attack the Wandering Emperor, I think that might be fine. Do this. Gives them a lot of things to connive with. Slugger being a leave the battlefield effect instead of a die trigger is really good for anyone playing Slugger. Yeah. Fixing, or dual land, Otawara. And then I'll get a token. If they end up killing the Emperor, that gains me a little bit of life and lets them cycle some of these lands. Someone's texting me about the One Ring. Revealed today the Indestructible artifact. It gives you protection from everything for a turn when you cast it. It also draws cards.
See you later.
Does a lot of things. Okay, so here's another Malira, which is pretty good. What do we want to do here? It might just be activate Bank Buster and Ossification. I can play an Elspeth and dig. That might be good. I think I want to just keep them from finding the cards, so I'm gonna cast the Ossification, just try and handle some things on the table. They can't really profitably Spell Pierce. Let me not. Yeah, no, they can't. Okay, so we're gonna hit this. We're gonna pay for the ward. Still have enough mana left over to activate Bank Buster. Not gonna attack. We're gonna get a token and make them all 2/2s. When they attack with the Malira, I think I'm just gonna trade off one token for the Malira and just triple block. Try and play around and go for the throat. If I were to just double block. Or I could crew and activate, or crew and block with the Bank Buster. That would also be good. I guess we're not going to do that here. I'm going to activate the Bank Buster now, so I'll take 2 off the Shieldred. And I think the following turn is going to be Elspeth. And look for -3 and look for a land to put into play, hopefully a field, so I can just hit the Spars headquarters. Alright, so there's a field. That's pretty good. And that's fine. I can resolve. Put in my turn. We're gonna draw. Oh, destroy evil. That's pretty good. So I can keep trading just... Okay. We're going to... Demolition Field, the white source. They're gonna find nothing. I'm gonna go get a land. And I kind of get to dictate the pace a little bit here. Combat, attacks, no attacks. Do I destroy evil now and make them lose the Malira? They get to just unsummon with the Otawara. So yeah, I think I want to keep them off of doing that. So we're going to destroy something, because if I let them untap, they get to Otawara the Ossification and get back to Rafine. But if I do this, they have to use the Malira now. And it gets a little more difficult for them to Otawara. I get to respond to this though and draw my card without taking damage. I didn't know if I needed full control. Alright, so I get a card. The Shieldred gets to come back and turn. So now they get to channel the Otawara on the Ossification, get back to Rafine, attack, and connive. Unless they want to do something else. play a tap land, which is fine. Pass to attacks. Okay, so they're going to do this at the end step. Okay, so I have 4 of these, 1, 1. Okay. I can play Restoration of Iganjo and Wedding Announcement. And if they counter the Restoration, it means that they're not channeling this turn. So that's probably fine. Play the Restoration. Also gets me to Plains and sets up White Sun Twilight for X equals 5. And the second chapter here can rebuy Field of Ruin, which is pretty good. I'll play the second announcement here. Same thing, if they decide they want to counterspell, it keeps them from Odawaring at the end of my turn. Combat, attacks, no attacks, gonna block. I'll get a token. It might be incorrect to be so hesitant to attack. That's fine. Also a little strange because... what are they going to do? Attack with a Rafine? Connive once? I wonder if they have... I don't remember if the Slogurg version plays on Urtai. I can smuggle the Ossification in through the Restoration of Iganjo, actually. Just some blocks, no blocks. Alright. 5 mana. Casting Slogurg. Okay. Alright. So, I have a field. I can draw Sarah Paragon basically at any time. Do they have Make Disappear? I think I can beat a Rafine and a Slogurg. 6, I'm gonna have that much mana. 8, that still loses to a Spell Piercer and Make Disappear. I think I'm gonna discard the Ossification to smuggle it into play. We're gonna put it on this Plains. We're gonna target Shield Road. I don't know if they expected to negate that on the way back down or what. I can just White Sun Twilight and try and kill them all? Kill all the guys, put a bunch of lands in their hand. They still get 2 Odawaras back, which is pretty poor for me. Man, dealing with Slogurg really bites. Denik is really good against it, though. I wonder if there's like a pacifism that would be good to use. We're just gonna cast Elspeth. Minus and see what we can find.
And I will protect them. This is
Find a
my
Restoration
city,
or a Field of Ruin.
I'm going to protect it.
I think it's just going to be the Restoration. We'll get another Plains. Play Field. Maybe I want to draw a card to the Wedding Announcement, but I think I just want to keep pulled back. I can take him off white. And that might be good. Maybe I should have waited to see their decision. Gonna resolve everything. Hope that they... Oh, okay, so they found a shield root. That must have already been there. The Slogurk just gets so large. Maybe I should be using my Elspeth offensively. I think I might need to try and just wrath the board next turn. Especially if they just play Shield Root attack Rafine. Attack with Rafine. So they're definitely playing the Shield Root. Probably attacking with both creatures. I think they want to attack the Elspeth. Okay, so they're only doing it once. Okay. So they're planning to discard a spell, and it's a Slogurk. Okay. And they're planning on... They're deliberately trying to kill the Elspeth. Okay.
I shouldn't have gotten involved.
Okay, so they have another white source. We're both getting low on cards. Yeah, we're gonna draw. Wanderer's pretty good. Whenever opponent draws a card, there's 2 life. Be effective in change on like that. I think I'm gonna discard. It's weird because the Slogurk basically single-handedly makes the Field of Ruin plan worse. I'm going to discard Plains and get back Field of Ruin. I'm going to attack everything because I think I'm just going to Twilight here and lose my Architect, unfortunately. I have 6. Okay, so I can X equals 6. Damage, you take 8. Tap everything, gain 6 life, make 6 mites, destroy all the creatures. Oh, they're gonna bounce the Slogurk to their hand? That's annoying. I don't know if there was anything I could have done about that, though. If only Rest in Peace was in this format. Yep, you can have them all. In turn. So we have a bunch of big mites. This is part of where I want to Skrub's Hive so I can gain some life back with the toxic creatures. I don't know how good that would be here. There's Slogurk. And they have attack Newman Odoar in hand. Some attacks. Go to my turn. Lay down arms. So I guess I can exile this Slogurk, but I know there's just more in here. There's one. Only one. So we can destroy the plaza. I guess we'll make them activate it now. Or channel the Takenuma now, because otherwise they won't be able to. Or channel the Odoar now. They have to choose, though. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully they just don't flip double land. Nope, flipped 1, which isn't going to be enough. I don't know what they're going to pick up, though. Shieldred, of course. Get another... Oh, this does let them do it. Because they discard, it's going to be tagged. Yeah. Maybe I should have laid down arms first. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they didn't have 3 lands untapped. They only had... I thought they had 4, not 3. Okay. So how do I fix this? Let's draw a card, I guess. Do I just lay down arms this now? So if I play Wanderer and I blink it, it's just gonna be worse for me. I think I just want to lay down arms this. Even though this doesn't benefit me at all. Did they time out? Why did they concede? They weren't dead, were they? 3 times 6, 18? And I had a 5? Oh, maybe they were dead. I also had the car. It's difficult when the mites are all stacked up like that. I forget how many I have. Especially when the Anthem stacks. Alright. Alright, we got some removal, we got a field, some proactive stuff, and we have a one track. Pretty good. Okay, so we're going to lead with the plains. Alright, looks like we're against Grixis, so the fields are looking good. Play plains. Do I care about the Harvester, or do I play the Bankbuster into the Abrade? If I play it into the Abrade, it probably lets me resolve the following Restoration of Iganjo pretty freely. Take 3. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. Alright. I can field them off blue mana. Is that good? I can play Restoration, have a land set up, so this way I can field plus activate the following turn. I think I field them off blue mana here, because that also guarantees me being able to resolve the Restoration. I made a mistake in not doing this in their draw step, though. Okay. I think they're going to use the blood. Oh no, they didn't use the blood. But they do have a blue land. Okay. Okay. So much for that. We are going to play Restoration, though. Hopefully they don't counterspell us. It looks like they might. Yep, okay. Huh. Maybe it would have been safer to just activate the Bankbuster. Okay, we drew a land. How important are these ossifications going to be? I think we'll play a Plains. And we'll play the second Bankbuster. Next turn we can, I guess, double activate? Because I don't think I want to... I don't think I want to ossification the Harvester yet. It's going to get a little hairy after one more combat step, because then the next Shield Raid is going to be really good. And it's going to apply a lot more pressure to us, especially if ossification is our answer we're leaning on. Got some blocks, no damage, or no blocks, go to damage. Yeah, here's the Shield Raid, so we're gonna activate to draw a card. We drew Plains, which is good. We have to go to our draw step, because we don't have the Destroy Evil in our hand. We have to lose this life. And now it looks like we're going to be using the ossification on both these creatures anyway, especially the Blood Tithe Harvester. Which... we are not in a good spot if they invoke to spare us like that. Okay. So let's sacrifice this, give him the Harvester back. We're at 2. We definitely should have ossified the Harvester way sooner if this is what we were going to do anyway. A little shaky on mana this time, it seems like. How do we win? I think we win by spinning into something good with Elspeth and hoping they don't have a Spell Pierce off this Shipwreck Marsh. Like that. Okay. Turn 2 Harvester is just so good. Bring in the Hives, Fateful Absence, and Elspeth. Take out... Lauren's a little medium here. What is bad? All these cards are pretty good. Restoration. How good is Restoration here? What are our 2 manas that are good? It's the Hive, Ossification. Oh, Truman Ossification. Mondrak's good. Twilight's good. Maybe Twilight's a little bad. I guess if they... I think I still want that. Because I want the game to get to the X=5 territory, and if that's the best case for the card... Faithful Absence, maybe not so good. Maybe I can trim some... That's right, I'll trim some laydown arms. Okay. I'll play first. I don't think this hand is very great, but I'm on the play. Maybe being on the play is makes it a little better. How good is Ossification matchup? Honestly, not great. I think I want to mulligan if I don't have a good turn 3. Field, Plains. This looks pretty good. I can put Wander on the bottom. I'm going to keep 6. Wander on the bottom. Hope I draw another good card for the late game. But I have a lot of time. And I have double Wedding Announcement, which I think is pretty good, especially on the play. We're going to lead on Plains, in case we draw Plains laydown arms, because there's still a couple in the deck. We're going to play Field. And... do I just play Wedding Announcement into... a Make Disappear or a Negate? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to start fielding them. Set the stop already. Pass the draw step. We are going to Demolition Field the Darkslick Shores. This also on the play is very good, it seems like. Take action. I'm going to go get a Plains. Do they have a Spell Pierce? They could. It might just be fine to continue doing the Field of Ruin thing. Tag their Xander's Lounge. Probably don't need that stop. I'm probably just gonna... They didn't find anything, so I can just do this anyway. Hit the lounge. Go get my basic. It's a shame I don't have anything to do. This would be a spot where Skrelv's Hive was really good. Would be really good. Okay, so they have 2 Pain Lands. I'm just getting to resolve things now through Make Disappear. So if they have a Negate, that's pretty good. But I think I want to get this going. I think it might be unlikely they have Negate, but it's very possible they have Negate. They might be holding it if they're going to be on this low of resources. They might just want to hold the Negate for a much more impactful spell. But because the Wedding Announcement takes a while to actually be threatening, and maybe they're hoping that they can just run land, invoke, clean it up. That's fine. So attacks, go to my turn. I don't think I want to use the Fateful Absence yet, I want to use it for a potential Shield Rid. Now that they're tapped out, I can safely resolve Restoration by Donjo. Go get a Plains. Play a second Announcement. No attacks, get 2 tokens. No reason to chump attack in Harvester. You can't get a card for just 1 attacking creature. Okay, cool. So there is some hope for the Grixis matchup if you can just do something like that. How did I end up with 1 White Sun Twilight in my deck? Must have been an accident. Maybe I want more Laydown Arms on the draw so I don't lose to turn 2 Blood Tithe Harvester attack me for 12 over the course of a few turns. Because I don't want that. That seems really poor. I think, especially since my Field of Ruins are so good here, maybe I can go lower on the ossifications, something like that. Maybe I just cut them all. They don't have a lot of Planeswalkers. I like Jace in the deck, but it doesn't seem like a lot of other people are playing it. They might play some number of Kaito. White Sun Twilight. I think I'll try this. Play all the Laydown Arms on the draw. Have more instant speed post-board. And by more, I mean only 1 more for the Fateful Absence. And I can still hit Planeswalkers with the Fateful Absence. Okay, got some answers on the draw. Got a Field of Ruin and some proactive stuff. This looks like a pretty good 7. Especially since I have double Plains, very notably. The rest, pretty good on their part here. Fortunately, we have 2 removal spells, so they can't take both and leave me just without. Leaving me to die to the turn 2 Blood Tithe Harvester. Ooh, and we drew a Destroy Evil. So we're pretty good against threats. And they left the Wedding Announcement, so they must be planning to hold up Make Disappear or Negate or something. What are we doing? Fable? No. Okay, so they just want to keep holding up mana. So we're going to play Field of Ruin. I don't really want to play into it, and I feel like I'm advantaged if I can just pass, not play into that, and repeatedly field them. So what do I want to cut them off of? Red? Or blue? Blue, I guess, is what I want because I'm trying to play around counter magic. So I think I'll just tag the Shipwreck Mark here. I don't know why I waited until the draw step again. They've been missing constantly. This is just bad habit that I'm doing. This is what I do any other time. In other formats and against other people who have basic lands. Okay, so I tagged correctly. So I can resolve a Wedding Announcement pretty freely here. I think if they still had blue mana, I would try and build up the Wandering Emperor. Or if they had creatures on board, I would hold up the Wandering Emperor. Okay, so here's a Shield Rid. Upkeep, I can destroy evil the Shield Rid, take no damage off of it. I could have Lay Down Arms did as well, but I think being able to double removal spells in a future turn might be a little better. Play Field, attack for 1 because I'm not blocking, so I don't have haste. We'll hit a blue source again. Since we've started down this line, I think we're going to be making a concerted effort to try and keep them off of blue sources. Get to make a token off the Wedding Announcement. Deciding if I want to get a card off the last trigger of the Wedding Announcement or a token. Okay, they're playing Corpse Mixer. Exiling their Shield Rid, which doesn't really mean too much, because I don't think they have ways to rebuy creatures from the graveyard in most of the lists. Well, there's Gix's Command. Okay, and they brought in Disdainful Strike. So I think I'm gonna use a removal spell, so this way I don't have to chump attack. They're gonna become a faster clock in a moment once my announcement flips. So I think we're gonna go to combat, we're gonna attack. I have a lot of removal, so I think I might want to use this first Igonjo as a mana source. Do I play Emperor here? No, I think I want to end step it, kind of, I guess, allow them the ability to negate my Emperor. Drawing Farewell is really good insurance, more or less. Okay, that's really good because they're tapping down their Ottawa. They can have their Goblin, cast some attacks. I'm going to cast Emperor, and I'm going to make a Samurai.
I'm not
Foolish Samurai
Keep
Warrior.
watch for intruders.
Drawing a Demolition Field here is really good because I can tag their Dark Sectors, continuing to keep them off of... attempting to keep them off of blue mana as much as I can. They must really have be having a problem. Alright. Fielding is pretty good. It's been a while since I've had to play against Grixis, because I wasn't playing a lot of Standard last week, so it's nice to relearn the matchup a bit. Try again. White Sun's Twilight might not be good, unfortunately. Which is really disappointing. But at the same time, being able to field of ruin people a bunch might be just as fun. There's a field, some lands, reliquary, and it's a little light on counterplay. Maybe just turn 2 Bankbuster's good enough. I have the field in the Lauren, so I'm not like completely helpless. It looks like some sort of Esper permutation again. So we're going to go Plains, Bankbuster, unless they play something that requires answer immediately. Okay, so they're playing this. Who is a legend, apparently. So I think I'm going to play the Plains and the Buster. And I think I want to activate the field before Restoration Chapter 2. What am I going to do about this? I think I want to just exile this now. Activate my... because this is just such a good threat. I think I'm just going to activate the Bankbuster, try and get ahead a little bit on cards before I start to kind of try and Demolition Field them. If they miss a land here, they're ripe for getting fielded. Doesn't look like they will. I think they're going to play it just post-combat, cast a threat. Oh, man. Okay, so they're going to try and connive, maybe. Okay, so we're going to resolve the connive. They'll probably just discard a land turret. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to draw a card here. I don't want to forget. And that's fine. The fast lands work really well against offsetting the land loss of the Demolition Field and Field of Ruins. And they get the plan. That's good for them. Okay, so if they follow up with Rafine, it's really poor for me. Maybe I want to put a blocker on the table. I think I want to hit the Plaza, though, because the Plaza just has more text than something like Rafine. Or Rafine's Tower. And I think I want to do this and just set them back. And really mess up their mana, which that land is perfect for it now, because they have the Esper color creature. I'll take action. I'm going to go get up Plains. This guy is also pretty threatening. I think I want to save some of the... I think I just want to draw a card off the Buster. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage, though, so maybe I do need to cast this Lay Down Arms now. He's very threatening, though. Whenever you talk 5 or more soldiers, they're a rogue. Okay. So, I think you scale better. I think I'm just going to exile you. Oh, that's a die trigger? Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was just a leave the battlefield trigger like Slowdark. Very good for me. Paragon, also very good for me. Paragon is a blocker. They can cast Air Tie, though. which I don't really want to play into. I haven't seen green, so they likely have it. Do I play around Make Disappear? Probably. I think they do just airtime me here, if they can. Maybe I should have played the Sarah Paragon, replay the field. They might be struggling. I think they play Shieldred here, right? No, the Thalia. That's fine. I think I draw a card here. I wonder what's in their hand. Do I discard a card? What's in my graveyard? Demolition Field. Do I cycle a Plains from my hand into that? I think so. It also gets me up a mana source once I get to activate it. Play Field, activate Field, hit Rafine's Tower, change phases, play a blocker? Hit the tower. Not even bothering to float mana. Okay. Which is fine with me. Play Paragon. Get the ability to play nothing. I think I lose to a Go for the Throat, though. No, I get to... Yeah, I lose to a Go for the Throat. Yep. I crew. And I still can't block the flying creature. Nope, that's it. Okay. What do I do here? And then we bring in Faithful Absence. I'll move this over here. Vanquish the Horde. And do we bring in Elspeth? If the best things I can do is find stuff like Wedding Announcement and Field of Ruin, then maybe I just want the Elspeth. And what do I cut? I don't want to cut any removal. I don't know if the game is going to safely get to a point where I can White Sun Twilight, so maybe I cut that. And this is kind of just indicating what should probably happen to the card overall, which is a shame, because I like it a lot. And board out the Lorens, because the body's really small. It doesn't trade very well with any of their creatures, and it doesn't kill anything. It kills Skrelv, but I think I'm already pretty good at that. Yeah, see, this is a situation where I would probably keep the second Farewell. And the best cards I can play are Planeswalkers and Paragon and lands, and Farewell doesn't tag those. Yeah, it really makes me think. Wanderer can also blink the other best card in the deck, Sarah Paragon, out before I Farewell. I had a situation like that today where I got to plus on the Paragon, cast the Twilight to wrath the board, and then the Paragon was able to come back. I think they conceded before I was able to do that, but the fact that that option is open to me is pretty good. Okay. We're going to play first. Alright, field, Plains, and we have a laydown arms, so we can tag a turn 1 Skrelv, and we have some follow-up. Honestly, not the best because our turn 2 is looking a little lackluster, but we do get to be on the play, which is nice. Alright, looks like it's okay for us, nothing to do. Okay, they get to play a Plaza of Heroes, and they get to play 3-2. 3-2s are just... 2-mana 3-2s in this format are just really good, honestly. We're going to Field of Ruin, their Plaza. Yeah, this feels really powerful. Getting to field someone, like, turn 3 on the play, and now I just get to lay down arms their creature. This seems really good to me. If they don't have a second land, I just get to destroy their Otawara. They must not have a second land. Wow, okay. So I'm finding which parts of this deck are the best. It's the ones that involve just Stone Raid. Uh, uh, very cool. Okay, it's very interesting, and I am liking like the more controlling this deck gets. Okay, so we got removal, and yep, looks good to me. Sorry, I'm getting over being sick. I was sick all weekend and had to miss an RCQ on Saturday, which is fine because I don't think I really wanted to play that anyway. Okay, so we're gonna play Plains. What are we gonna do to the Harbin? I don't think we can sit here and take hits from it all day. Do I just let them potentially trade Destroy Evil with Ossification? I think so, because this buys me a lot of time. If they decide that they want to Destroy Evil, the Ossification, get back their Harbin here. Oh wow, that wasn't what I thought about. Okay. That's still kind of fine because I'm not taking the 3. I think I just field them here. And then I still get to lay down arms. The 3-power creature. It's not hitting Shieldred or anything, but they're pretty far off Shieldred at this point. Gix is really good. I forgot they played that. Okay, Plains, that's exactly what I want. Do I play Mondrak and just block? I don't think so. I think I want a Wandering Emperor, exile that, Mondrak, make 2 Samurai. I like that line. If they attack with the Gix. Would they do anything pre-combat? They might play Rafine. Because Rafine just gives so many options. This plays into Negate and Make Disappear and Disdainful Stroke. Wow, Spell Pierce. I think I can still come back. I don't think it's done. I wonder if they drew a land. Or if they're just missing. I don't expect Spell Pierce out of this deck often. Okay, so they have a Rafine's Tower. So I can play the Mondrak to block, or I can play the Iganjo. I think if I play the Iganjo, I fall too far behind. So I think I need to play the Mondrak and use the actual Iganjo, not the Restoration, as just. Play the Mondrak as a blocker, play the Iganjo as a land, so I can attempt to cast spells next turn. We're both getting a card. If I get a land, I can play Elspeth next turn. Force them, I guess, to have some amount of... Okay. There's Adeline. There's Adeline. Adeline's really good. And he has all these legends. Yeah, I just might be dead. I don't think so. Suspiciously leaving a blue mana up. Hoping I draw Vanquish the Horde, which I think is 8 plus 1 ossification. I think I'm just dead. I think we're just dead. Yeah, we are just dead. Okay. So it was difficult to find lands that game. Okay, so not sure if the White Sun Twilight is actually any good. I think just Second Farewell might be better, in all honesty. So we're gonna remove this. We're gonna pop out the sideboard. Hmm. And we want the Second Farewell. And what else? I think we definitely want the extra hearse. We have all these Sunset Revelries. What can I do against that? Just play more removal, I guess? No, I don't think that's the answer. More restorations? Maybe I should just prioritize things differently and get the restoration running sooner? Because it does flip into a big blocker. Unsure. Don't want another Sarah Paragon so I can play a little more aggressively with the first copy I find? Maybe. Let's me rebuy the good cards. Maybe Lauren isn't very good. Maybe I only want one. And I want to play like Cathar Commandos in the main. Because it's better with Restoration, it's better with Sarah Paragon, Ambushes. Lauren's pretty good, but maybe I do only want one. Maybe I want the Cathar in. That might be the case. I think against the aggressive matchups, just having Cathar might be decent. Like, jump in front of red creatures, or... Very interesting. I'm thinking 2-1. Lauren is good because she doesn't give up... She doesn't trade 1 for 1. She's a big Reclamation Sage. By big, I mean the exact size of a Reclamation Sage. Cathar, though, trading with 3 power with Flash works really well with holding up Bankbuster. Maybe I just want that. I don't know. Really don't know. Maybe I want the other Elspeth in the main? It's possible. I'm trying to figure out how good Lauren is, though. Maybe it's just bad in that matchup. Because Cathar's not very good against some of the other things that are going on in the deck. Or in the matchup, at least. Not a lot of their cards are trade very well with Cathar, but Cathar might just improve the other matchups. What is good against the Esper deck, though? Is it Mondrak? Mondrak seems fine. I also don't want to go too high on 4-mana threats, because that seemed like a problem where I just had a bunch of expensive cards and I couldn't play them all that game. To destroy evil, to Cathar Commando. I don't think I need all these Cathar Commandos in the sideboard now. What do I want against the Esper deck? It's just cheap removal, right? What can I do to the Esper deck? What can I do? What does the Basilica Skull Bomb do? I want cards with lifelink. That's really what I want. I wonder if Calamity's Wake is any good against them. I wonder if this card is any good in general. I know some people I know are pretty excited for this when it was first spoiled, but I don't know if it's any good. Exiles all the graveyards, and players can't cast non-creature spells. When is this actually good? There's no Cascade in this format. There's not a lot of graveyard stuff. I mean, there is, but... I just don't know the matchup I would want to side this in against. If it did, like, one more thing. Like, if it replaced itself, like if it was a Hollowed Moonlight. I'm not sure. Not sure where I would want it. Do I want more ossifications? Probably not. Do I want more removal? Probably not. I don't think I want something like Sash. Do I want the adversary? I don't think so. I don't think I want like a weird lord. Um, just try this maybe. I should look at some of the other lists that did well. Time is it 9? Okay. Got a little time. Maybe one more game. Maybe Lauren is just a better main deck card. Because it just puts a blocker on the table. Cathar just might not be great. Maybe it's a nice hedge. Only because it works so well with Paragon and Restoration of my Gancho. 1-1. I don't know. It's difficult tuning this deck. Where's the knockout blow? Why do I still have all these Cathars? I just don't have another sideboard card. I cut the temporary lockdowns. I'm not sure if that's correct, though. Ooh, kind of like Touch the Spirit Realm. That's pretty good. Maybe I'll play one of those? Or is it good, though? Is it good at all? Is an Oblivion Ring good? I don't know. The Journey to Nowheres aren't even very good. I couldn't even get the Journey to Nowheres to be good. Urza Silex? I like having 10 lands, so I don't think I want to play that. Ooh, I can play Phyrexian Vindicator again. That's not... Yeah, that's not as good anymore. Just play a second Mondrak, just play a bunch of 4-drops. Oh, what is that artifact that people like? The Steel Seraph. I haven't tried this before. It's kind of like Elspeth, except different? Oh, and a lot of people play Sanctuary Ward. I don't like that. I think I just like the other 6-drops more. It seems fine. This seems pretty good with the, like, Voltron your Mondrak thing. Elspeth might just be better in the mid-range matchups, and Steel Seraph might be better overall. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with this thing. I know it's cool with Wanderer where you can blink it and it comes back full size. Being combat on your turn to creature control gains flying, lifelink, or vigilance. It's good in multiples, I guess. I really have no idea what to think of that card. Maybe play a March. I don't know if this card's actually good in this format either. Oh, there's just so much going on. Combat Thresher's pretty cool. Seems a little not good enough. 3-mana 1/1 draw card. When we have like a couple different variations of that. Not sure. Maybe just leave the Cathar Commanders in the sideboard. Just go back up on my Lauren. It's also really convenient when I'm trying to channel Iconjo and I have a couple actual legendary creatures. There's a Denek. Other people are playing. In the Esper deck. Can I play an artifact in the slot? Are there any good ones? There's not a lot of good ones. So there's a couple ones that are very good, and the rest of them are all kind of for limited. Monument to Perfection. Yeah, no. Just like finds a land. Basic Sphere or Locus. And then 9 or more lands with different names among all the stuff you can draw. Because of 9/9. Not into that. Pithing Needle. I had someone Pithing Needle me earlier today. It was like pretty good. It turned off my Bank Buster. But I don't know if I can spare the slot for a Needle. Soulless Jailer. Permanent cards and graveyards can't enter the battlefield, so it's good against Invoke Justice and any other reanimate effects. You can cast non-creature spells from graveyards. Oh, this is also really good against me, because it turns off my Paragon and my Restoration. That sucks. I see people with Stonebrain in the sideboard. I have no idea what they're doing with it. And I wish I knew. But I have no idea what they're attempting to Stonebrain. Silex. Is this good? It's like a Wrath. Is anyone paying life or paying life to cast or activate? I don't think so. What else we got? Stuff. Celestis is pretty cool. I just don't think I could get Lauren or Abraded and be happy about it. Argena Masticore, I thought about. Oh! I wanted to play the, Well, I've seen some people playing this in the sideboard. That card's really good. Just Cityscape level, which is huge. Mightstone. Mightstone and Weakstone. I've seen that show up in some decks. And I don't have a copy. There it is. Oh, it's a rare. It's going to eat my last wild card. I like this, though. I think this might be good. I'm going to try it. So this just seems pretty generically good. It either just kills a creature, draws 2 cards. Later on, it will either pay for Ward to pay for hitting a Tolarian Terror, pays for Ward to hit Rafine, it pays to activate Fields. It blinks really well with Eternal Wanderer, so it might be good enough to play like multiple copies, especially since it impacts the board. Maybe it's better than Elspeth, where it just draws 2 cards or kills a thing. Whereas Elspeth, I think, is better in a lot of the more mid-range matchups where the board isn't contested. She has trouble impacting the board, but she also can find 3-mana cards to put on the table. But yeah, pay for a field, pay for a roadside reliquary, pay for a ward for Tolarian Terror, pay for activating a Bank Buster. This card actually does a lot of things. It can even cast the Bank Buster. It casts a Hearse immediately. This does let you double spell pretty well. Or just do things in a timely enough manner. Maybe if you play like sideboard Elspeth, main deck Mightstone, Weakstone, it makes sideboard Cityscape Leveler to go over the top of like the mid-range mirror better. Maybe that is like a strategy I can try. Because right now it's like you board in Skrelv's Hive against stuff like Grixis. Maybe that's not very good. Or like maybe the format is kind of passed by Skrelv's Hive sideboard kind of thing. Unsure. Very uncertain. Especially since I have sideboard slots that are effectively open. Like I have a Knockout Blow in here. I've got the Hives that might just be replaced at some point. I'm kind of interested in seeing how this plays. The Mightstone and the Weakstone. Yeah, that's the one card that I haven't gotten to try yet that I've wanted to. Alright, so one more game. Maybe the Mightstone Weakstone will come up. If it does, it does. If it does not, then there's always tomorrow. Hey. My queue times have been pretty long today. Not sure why. Alright, we are playing against Don't Know. Plains, Igonjo, some 3-mana cards, and some stuff for later. If they're aggressive, we're in trouble. We are on the play, which means we get to play Wedding Announcement pretty early to try and stabilize if they're aggressive. I think I can keep it, and if they're not aggressive, we can use Restoration to try and just hit lands. Alright, they play a Swamp, so they might be mono black. They're duressing us. What are they going to take? Probably the announcement. They might take Iganjo to try and choke our mana. So... they took the Iganjo, so they are trying to take us off hitting our lands. Which means they think this game is going to go long. If they were aggressive, they would probably be ending up taking the wedding announcement. They're duressing us, so they see we drew a plains. They're probably going to take either the announcement or the Emperor. Okay, so which means that they're not threatened by the announcement, so they're probably an Invoke Despair deck. The Deathcap Glade makes me think they're Jund. So they took these, which were pretty good at going long. But they might just, maybe they're just black-green. Not sure. We're going to go to combat. And we're going to attack with the token. I'd be surprised if they did anything to the token here. I'm going to play the Iganjo for a land and hope that we can keep drawing cards to play. Oh, okay. So if they wanted to keep us off of drawing a card the following turn off the wedding announcement, they could have killed the token that turn. Okay, so here's Phyrexian Obliterator. We drew Ossification. Right on time. Also would have accepted a Plains. Okay. We get to attack with both creatures and get a card off the wedding announcement. We're missing a land, which is really bad for us. We just drew our 5th land, though, so it could be a lot worse. Notably, they had the old art Phyrexian Obliterator, which is obviously the best one. They missed their 5th land, played Phyrexian Obliterator again. I don't really want to let... I drew an Ossification. So I don't really want to play Ossification on Obliterator again, so if they Invoke Despair us, we're closer to just getting blown out. Long story short, I'm going to lay down Arms the Obliterator instead. If they play something else smaller that's less threatening, I can ossify it. So this way, if we get Invoke Despaired, I can sacrifice that ossification instead of the one that's holding the Obliterator. Right now, I'm kind of priced into sacrificing the Wedding Festivity instead. If they do Invoke Despair us, which cuts down our clock a lot, but it doesn't give them an Obliterator back. I could sacrifice the ossification, banking on drawing a land off the top, though, so I can farewell the entire board away, and keep the Wedding Festivity. I don't know how good that is. I might want to hold the farewell for later on in case we fall behind. Okay, so here's their 3rd Phyrexian Obliterator. I drew Field of Ruin. They have already played 2 basics, and they definitely seem like a deck that has a lot of basics in it, considering it's borderline mono black with green. The green cards are for Tail Sweep, by the way, which is a card that fights. So we're going to just keep them off of Phyrexian Obliterator the entire game, so we don't get tail swept. We also need to only play small creatures, so this way if they do ever get off the fight, here's the Invoke Despair. So we're going to sacrifice a creature. I don't think it, because of the consideration of the fact that I don't want to let them tail sweep with the Obliterator, I think I'm just going to sacrifice the Wedding Festivity. I just don't want to give them removal. We have Eternal Wanderer or get another Wedding Announcement rolling. I think I want the Wedding Announcement to get rolling, and I think I'm going to set a stop in their draw step so I can try and Field of Ruin them off green, or start trying to Field of Ruin them off green. So I'm going to attack for 1. I'm going to play Wedding Announcement, start making tokens and try and get some more cards, and I'm going to end the turn. I'm going to pass and draw. I'm going to Field of Ruin their Deathcap Blade, leave them with the Animal Waste so at least we can get a point of damage in. Oh, they're already at 8. Maybe it would have been better than to play Wanderer and make a token. I don't think so. I think I still want to get the Wedding Announcement going. waiting on the Field of Ruin. The wedding announcement is also kind of a faster clock, so I can put them to 6 the next turn and play the Wanderer to make a 2-2. Wedding announcement also insulates my ossifications, so even if this is a slightly slower clock, I think just not giving them back for Phyrexian Obliterator is better. Here they go, making black. Get my planes. Wildred's Edict. Sacrifices a creature token. Resolve. Sacrifice the tapped human. Okay, so they're trying to keep me from drawing cards. Oh, and they're using the black just to be mana efficient, I guess. As my opponent and I are continuing to rope each other. They use a timeout. This is still getting one. Play Callisto. Okay. That will fortunately not stop my clock. I can play Wanderer, blink it out. That plays into Invoke Despair really badly, though. I think I still kind of need to do that. Blink it out, and I can continue attacking. Make a token. I'm really soft to an Invoke Despair here still, because I have to sack Announcement, Wanderer, and Human. They play Bankbuster, though. Draw a card. They have 2 mana available. Their Glissa comes back. I can keep using the Emperor to juggle the Glissa, especially now. So we're gonna do that because I drew Wandering Emperor, so I have a lot more decisions to make over the course of their turn, and I want to continue to be aggressive. So we're gonna go to combat. I'm gonna attack for 2. I'm gonna end the turn. I'm gonna get a card off the Wedding Announcement, and they have a Glissa returning at their end step. My creatures are both small, so even if they obliterate or tail sweep me, it's not the worst thing in the world. And I drew a Demolition Field off of the Wedding Festival. Reveal their hand, choose an unland from it. Okay, so they're cleaving the Dreadfig. So I'm going to cast the Emperor here, not activate it yet. Which might be what they're trying to induce. And then I can let the Dreadfig resolve.
I've learned much.
I'll make a token at their end step to kill them.
Let me show you.
But then again, I don't have to do anything. Okay, they're playing a Graveyard Trespass, which might buy them enough life. What can they do with 1 mana? In this format, Cut Down? Duress? Yeah, they can exile that. I'm going to... I put on full control so I can remember to make a Samurai. I'm just going to make it now.
We must protect the people.
Their Glissa comes back. There's a Bankbuster. Okay, so how do I punch through the last 4 points of damage? I can exile the Glissa. I think first, maybe I just want a Bankbuster. I can exile the Glissa. Yeah, let's just Bankbuster. Draw a card. Destroy evil. Does that do anything? Okay, so if I blink out the Glissa and they go to crew the Bankbuster, which might happen, I can destroy evil the Bankbuster. Which I think is what they're going to do. Yes. Okay, so we'll resolve that. This is gone. I can play Demolition Field too, right? No, well that'll let them get a card off the Bankbuster, which isn't really my goal. Destroy creatures that are big. Do this. Yeah, because now they can block 3-power creature with their 3-power creature, take 4, die. Okay. What do we do here? Mid-rangey matchup, so I bring in the Elspeth. They have Obliterators, so I want to bring in the Faithful Absence. I don't want to deal damage to something because it's Obliterator. This seems fine. Mightstone, Weakstone kills Obliterator as well. Take out 2 cards. Lauren seemed pretty not great there. Leave 1 in. Mondrag's pretty good. Maybe Mondrag's kind of medium here. They have an Edict. No, they have Children's Edict. I don't want it. Okay. Opponent goes first. I have no white sources. Demolition Field isn't really at its best here. I have the Reliquary. I think I'm mulligan. I have a white source that is not a plains and 2 lay down arms and a destroy. Okay. I think I can try to keep this because if I draw any 3rd land, the restoration gets me my first plains and we can kind of go off with the lay down arms. Keep destroy. I'm gonna put this on the bottom. At the very least, I can cast Destroy Evil off of these 2 lands. We're gonna leave with the Field of Ruin. Trying as hard as we can to not have to use the Aganjo here as our white source, but worst case, you know, it'll happen. Opponent gets a look at our hand that is basically not functional, as they take the Restoration of Aganjo, I assume. To further embarrass us, but, you know, never didn't have it, I guess. 13 in the deck, bound to draw 1. They'll play that, okay, that's good. I think I just want to, in case they play a Graveyard Trespasser or something that I have to answer pretty quickly, I'm going to play the Plains in case I draw Plains. Okay, so here's where we can Field of Ruin. Going to set the stop because I need to get some Plains and they don't have utility lands or anything. Plus it'll cut them off green. Okay, so we're going to let them draw that. Yep. Yes, so draw step. In their draw step, we're going to field the Deathcap Glade. This is kind of a bummer because it lets them get a fairly free activation off the Bankbuster. It gives them an extra mana to use the Bankbuster, which is not really what my goal is. Now they can Bankbuster play a 3-drop. I'm not sure what they would play. If they play a Liliana, I'm in kind of trouble. Go to their main phase. If they go Swamp... Okay, so they have another Deathcap Blade. Pretty good. We're going to play Plains. We're going to go to combat. So our draws have been pretty good. We drew the Emperor that we put on the bottom, and we drew 4 Plains. Okay, so here's a Thrun. Okay. How do I beat that? I wish I knew. Because I still can't target him because my stuff's non-green. This is also non-green. Password tags. Do I just like play the Emperor here? I think I should. Where's my out? Wow, imagine your borderline mono black deck splashing your green card and getting filled around.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I
You're
will
gonna make it
protect
taken.
my people. Let your
Decided
brave
out
do
the
the
Mondrag,
talking.
who actually kind of blocks the Thron very well. Go to my turn. What are you doing with my draw step? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I can draw Farewell now as a an out. I think I just want to keep using Wandering Emperor to make tokens. Can't be countered, still can't be targeted. You know, obviously. Yeah, I think I just want to use Emperor here.
May your
Indestructible on
blade
their
strike
turn.
true.
You know, this Thron is not as good as the first Thron, but oof, it is hard to beat still. That's so cool. I don't like this one as much, but it still seems really good in this format. Another instance of somewhere where Farewell is really good, and the White Sun Twilight is not as good. Such a shame, because Farewell's a little bit less interesting. Slime Foot?
Our swords will cross again.
Okay. Still can't still can't target it with the non-green ability. Okay, so we're gonna play our land. We're gonna pass. They get to activate the Buster here. But, you know. Okay, so the Thron's really gonna get me quick. I can Wandering Emperor exile the Bankbuster, though. That's fine. The fact that he's giving me a target is pretty favorable for me. When previously I didn't have one.
I'm home. This is what you get for hurting my people.
I don't think this changes the clock. 6, 12, 18. Yeah, and I got some value off of my Emperor and kept him from drawing a couple more cards. Second Bank Buster would have happened anyway. Make some tokens. The fact that Thrun has trample too. Can't really say that it's not about an end game. Because it definitely is, and I think that's a good design for a card. Something that can actually terminate a game. Every time I play against indestructible things, I wish the format had Shadow Spear, though. Or at least Shadow Spear that you can find pretty readily. I think we just block here. Trade off the pilot. The next token can also block the Thrun by another turn. Looking for the Farewell. Terra Sunder just hitting my announcement. Okay. That's also a good card to splash for. Duress. You can see all the cards that you already knew about. So now you can play your Phyrexian Obliterator in peace. And we can go to the next game. Okay. How are we doing it differently this time? Oh, okay, so So I can Wrath it on my turn. So it's only indestructible on their turn. But they really only played Thrun. They didn't play additional threats. So this is a good argument for depopulate over vanquish the horde, especially if I'm just gonna beat Esper. Otherwise, oh, I can Eternal Wander it away too. Okay, so we're not hopeless. We're not cold. I don't think I want this though. I think I just don't want 8 or 7 mana Wrath of God, and I'm definitely gonna replace this afterwards to the 4 mana version. I get to be on the play though. Their duress and Thrun stuff just lines up really well. I wonder if they pivot when they're against a white deck off of Obliterator onto Thrun, because it was just too difficult to beat. I'm gonna play. I have no planes, bunch of 3s. I think I have to mulligan this. They don't put you under a lot of pressure, but they can easily just duress, take my restoration, and if I miss a land, it's just like untenable. I have a lot of lands in the deck though. I think I'm gonna try it. Against my better judgment, I think I'm gonna try it. Restoration just sets up the rest of the game so well. I'm gonna do the same thing where I try to not use Agonto as a white source until the very next second. I think I'm getting duressed. I assume they take the restoration again. Here's where it's going to be really bad. I drew the Mightstone though. Mightstone and Weakstone. Everyone's favorite commander. Tenacious Underdog, and I missed. Okay. So now it's going to get dirty. They also do... I have a field, and they do not have a green source yet. I've only seen Deathcap Glade and Llanowar Wastes from them as green sources, and treasure tokens. They've played a Bankbuster, so their hand's a little awkward too. We're going to try and just draw a land off the top. Missed. So, getting punished. There's his first green source. There's the Obliterator too. This might just be a case of I'm going to miss lands over and over again. And get punished, rightfully so. Okay, drew 1. Not bad. So what can we do here? I guess just play Announcement. And do our best. If they play... Oh, they're gonna fight me. Of course. Oh, I'll sacrifice the Bankbuster. I think I'm just dead. Doesn't matter how much removal I boarded in. Just can't draw it. I'll draw the Laydown Arms here, though, just to fully punish my, my hubris from playing so many non-plains white sources. Put me to 1. Yeah, I don't think there's much to do to get back from this. Okay, so if I had to depopulate, I could Wrath and hope they don't draw a creature. But then they could just get 2 draw steps. Oh no, they'd be able to Blitz. Okay. Yeah, so that's that. This would have been a good answer to the Obliterator, though, which is pretty nice. I'm definitely wanting more life gain in the deck. The more I play it, and they're just... I don't have access to a bunch. Maybe because I'm not on Steel Seraph? I think this, in theory, is really good, though. I'm pretty excited to play with this a little bit more. I wish it didn't have a backside, because it is really bad to look at on the interface here, and looks generally ugly for a card that I only want the front of. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Interesting. I think I might only want one, though. I might not want second copy. Paragon's a little bit more life gain. Mondrak, I think, is good, but maybe it's not better than Steel Seraph. Huh. Unsure, very unsure. Where's Lauren good? Lauren might just be one of the worst cards. Or less good cards. Oh, where's the Depopulates? The Vanquish of the Hordes are coming out. No, not Elspeth. There we go. Alright, so where's the Depopulate? One, two. Maybe I just don't want this overall. I really don't know how I feel about the Wrath of Gods in the sideboard. There's a lot of different Wrath of God options right now in the format. Don't like that. I also wish I could play Phyrexian Vindicator because I think it's really cool, but I don't know if it's good. Where is it good? I have no idea. It's good to get Vigilance with Elspeth. It's probably good with Steel Seraph. It's really strange. I just don't know how to evaluate Steel Seraph at all. Never played with it. It's modal though, so it can't be that bad. It scales really well. So strange. Okay. I am going to end it there for the night, I think. Take it easy and rest a bit for the rest of the night. So, thanks for hanging out.